Hey everybody, what's up? It's Pastor Parker, and this is Hold Fast in Your Home. We're excited to see what tonight has for us and what God has for us, and I'm excited to see how you all are doing. I'm excited to check in with some leaders and see how our leaders are doing. What's up, Evan? I'm excited to just see how everybody is handling COVID and what people are looking like. What's up, Jasmine? And what you guys have been up to with your lives, how you've been spending your free time, how you've been spending time now that school is done and we're officially in summer. I think a couple days ago was the official first start of summer, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Sunday. So I can't wait to hear about how you guys are doing and what has been going up, what's been going on with you guys. Jasmine, I saw you today. You were at our church's vacation Bible school for little kids, and you were helping out a bunch. So thank you so much. Jasmine, you did great. You were the second person here. So what does that mean? That either means that you got second place or that you were the first loser, Jasmine. So Jasmine, what was it like to participate in VBS, to help out with a bunch of different students? Hey, David, and see how those students were doing. Yeah, Jasmine, I love it. What's up, Blake? Yeah, exactly. I love it. So good. So, put up in the comments if you, first loser, Jasmine, that's the title that you're going to take. Jasmine was the second person on. So I said she either gets second place or she gets the title of the first loser. And she chose the title of the first loser. The VBS was tiring and the sun wore you out. Yeah, dude, it can be a lot. Hey, David, hanging out in the sun all day long. I know it gets brutal. Hey, good. I like that, but you love the children. Hey, my two children got to go through VBS, and my wife got to invite a friend to VBS that has never been to church before, and so she was able to come on and help out. And so, Jasmine, thank you so much for doing VBS, for helping out with that and participating, because of that, my kids got to have a ton of fun. They got to have an awesome craft. They got to hear some rad stories about Jesus, and my wife got to invite a friend who hasn't been to church and doesn't know much about Jesus. And so, it's pretty cool, Jasmine. Noah said hi to you. So good. I'm so glad to hear that. You never know what you are going to get with Noah. Sometimes my little girl will just give you, hi, Megan. Sometimes my little girl will just give you stone cold face, and other times she'll smile, wave, and say hello. Megan helped out at VBS as well. Megan was blowing bubbles and asking kids if they knew different songs and all these different things. And it was so fun to see you, Megan, in the car yelling at these little kids the whole time and blowing bubbles into their car with them. It was so good. Your mom's wig for tomorrow scares her, even though it's a yellow wig and it's scary. So awesome. Yeah. So Lizzie is Jasmine's mom, and Lizzie has been wearing a bunch of different colored wigs. She does it all the time. She's an amazing storyteller to little kids. And so I think the first day she wore, what did she wear? Did she wear red or purple? And then today she wore, I think, blue or purple. I might be confused. And tomorrow apparently it is going to be yellow. So fun. I have never, well, not true. I was going to say I've never worn a wig, but I actually own a wig, believe it or not. So I used to have hair, super long blonde hair all the way down my back. And when I cut my hair to what it is now, which is way shorter than all the way down my back, a lady from the church that I was at the time, I came to church on Sunday with a haircut, and she was so amazed. She was this little sweet, hi Rachel, this sweet little old lady, and she was so sad that I cut my hair that week she went out and bought a wig, and then on Sunday morning she handed me a blonde wig and said, I know you'll miss your hair someday. When you do, you can wear this. It was so funny. So of course I wore it the rest of the church service that Sunday morning, and it was I just felt so awkward. Of course, sitting with a bunch of my friends in this giant blonde wig again. I loved it. So I still have the wig. I brought it to summer camp and I wore it at summer camp. We tried to spray paint it blue, but it just didn't hold paint. It was incredible. It just fell off. Hi, Michaela. The paint just fell off of the wig. So I was hoping to be able to use it this year at summer camp, but we are not going to be able to do that. In fact, in just a couple weeks, is when next week is when we would have been at summer camp. So there's some disappointing things with COVID, and also there's some kind of neat things with COVID. I know a lot of us are getting a lot more time with our families. We're getting a lot more time being able to like think and actually find out what's important in life. But then there's also some negative sides. I know a lot of us are having a really hard time with things like depression and anxiety. And I know that we're trying to figure out what the future is going to look like. And we're all mourning, like, what does it mean to live right now? And how do we like be friendly and yet not hug people? Hi, Lindsay. And figure out all those other things. So if that's you and you are in that position, I just want to ask you, like, man, reach out to your leaders. Reach out to the leaders that were with you at youth group. They are still here with you. Hi, Amy, here with you and for you. If you were trying to figure out what does your life look like right now, and it feels like all this stuff swirling inside of you, and you're experiencing like depression or anxiety, and you just don't know what to do with COVID, or even if you're just like, man, life just seems dull. Like maybe you're not like, oh, I'm depressed or I'm anxious, but maybe life just doesn't seem wonderful. Maybe it's been difficult for you to connect with Jesus during this season. Reach out to any of your leaders. I hope you have their numbers. If not, hope you have mine. In fact, I'll just say it right now so we make sure you all have it. So my number is 805-248-8237. Text me and reach out to me and I'll get you connected with a leader. And man, we want to like see you not just survive through COVID, but actually grow into the image of Jesus during this season as well. So man, if you need anything, feel free to reach out. We are here for you guys. We love you guys. Every day, Amy and I are praying, asking God to help, like, give us something to do as we go forward where it's meaningful and wonderful for us and for our youth groups. That way we can see Jesus and you guys, like, coming back together, doing incredible stuff again. So we hope to be able to be with you guys in the future. But honestly, we all know, like, you just don't know with COVID. Hi, Alyssa. You just don't know with COVID what is going to be going on next week or next month or whatever. And so we've still chosen as a church to not allow large group gatherings on campus as a way to not just honor the government, but to honor people who aren't able to meet right now because they are sick, or they are immune compromised, or they know someone that's immune compromised, or maybe they just don't want to get COVID. And so we want to come alongside of those people and honor them because the scriptures time and time and time again tell us to care for the most vulnerable. Jesus, when we were weak, powerless, totally defenseless to save ourselves, he came and he cared for each and every one of us, and he brought us into a relationship with Jesus. So even though it sucks, even though it's hard to not be together and like, frankly, some of us may not want to do it any longer, we still as a church believe that this is the best thing to do. So for now, this is what we're going to continue to do. But I promise you guys, the moment that door opens up, like we're going to step into the next season of what God has for us. But again, if you're in this season right now and you're trying to figure out how to have a full, meaningful relationship with Jesus, reach out to any of our leaders. We're here for you. We're thinking about you. We are praying for you every single day. On my desk right over here, I have a name of every student that had ever, hi Macy, that had ever been to Hold Fast. And every day I look through the list and I ask the Holy Spirit to pop out names for me. And I just carry your name with me throughout the day and pray over you. And your leaders are doing the same stuff. So we can't wait to be back with you guys. But in the here and now, we would love to connect with you, make phone calls with you, and just see how you guys are doing. It's been a ton of fun for us. So hope you guys have had a good week. My week's been pretty good, kind of up and down. Put up in the group message if you guys have been to either Main Street in downtown Ventura, or if you have been to the beach. And if you've been to either one of those places, what did you think when you were there? What were you thinking about? What were you looking around seeing? Main Street, downtown Ventura, if you've been there or not, or the beach, and if you've been there or not. And what were you thinking about as you were walking down the beach or as you were walking on Main Street? I know for me, I went to Main Street and I thought, oh my goodness, there are so many people here. And it was so strange to figure out, like, I got my mask on and I was actually with Rich Woods and we were both thinking, like, we feel like old men. You know, like when a grandpa is at a store and you can tell that they don't like know what they should be doing and they're just kind of out of it and they're looking all around and they're hoping that anyone would be there to like help them and tell them where to stand or how to get through the aisle. Rich and I both felt like that. We had our masks on. We were like, where do we go? What do we do? Like, somebody come and help us get down the road, get down the aisle. It was just kind of odd. Like, it was nice to be out and about, but it was so strange with our masks covering our faces and like not knowing where we're supposed to be going. So Rachel's saying you went to both. Downtown, saw some Holdfast friends. Yes, Rachel, that is awesome. We are out there still. The beach was super pretty. I know, what's been happening with June gloom though? Put up in the comments if you guys like sunny days or you guys like more cloudy, overcast, June gloom type days. I know that there are some of you out there who live here. Matthew, you saw Rachel. So good, dude. I know that there are some of you out there who love cloudy weather, and I think, man, you need to like move. Am I aging? Yeah. Matthew loves the clouds. Jack, what's up, dude? Good to see your name. Yeah. Jack lived in Seattle, so like you have to at least be able to tolerate cloudy weather in order to live in Seattle. We're talking about if you like June gloom stuff or if you like more sunny days. I am a sunny day guy. Every once in a while, I like June gloom, but man, when it stretches on and on and on, I just want to get out of here and Matthew, you joined again. I don't know if that works. I just want to get out of there and I just want to hop on to like a nice, beautiful sunny day. So put up in the comments if you like sunny days or if you are okay with June gloomy stuff. Yeah. All right, Jack, mix of both. That actually kind of works out because you live at the beach, dude. So even like some mornings when I used to live on Mission joined. How did that happen? I love it. What's up, On Mission, and whoever is behind that account right now? I know it's not me, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, mix of both. Jack lives at the beach, so that's kind of easy. When I used to live at the beach, I know it'd be like some mornings it would be foggy, and then by like 9 or 10, it's burning off, so you'd kind of have like some morning fog and some other stuff. I am so curious about who is on the On Mission account. Let's see if we can go on to find out who is behind the curtain with the On. Oh, they declined. I love it. They're just going to keep the mystery going. So good. Let's see if we can go live with Matthew Lim. If not, I understand. We'll check up on Matthew Lim. Guys, guess who is behind the On Mission account? I have no idea. Matthew, what's up, dude?
What's up, man?
Where are you at? Where are you at?
I'm at Walmart. I'm getting a car battery.
My man, did your battery die?
Yes, it did. It died yesterday, and I had to jump start it, and it was working like all right today, but you know, don't want to like leave it like that.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Anna. Okay, dude, so here's a little pro tip for you. All of you take notes. Did you bring your battery in with you or no?
I did.
My man, why did you do that? Let me know.
Just so I can get like the right size and stuff, just because I'm not super knowledgeable about this kind of stuff.
Dude, well done. And you know what's interesting? They'll actually take your old battery from you. And if not, they'll charge you like $50, dude.
Yeah. And they'll recycle it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I can do that
If they don't, what's up, Elijah? Hey, Colin. If they don't, dude, Anna joined. I don't know why I'm just getting notified. That's so funny. Gabby. Dude, so you're getting a car battery. Anything else?
I don't know. Probably some candy.
Attaboy. What candy? Let us know.
Kit Kat and Snickers, and I like to like have them slightly frozen.
Interesting. Okay, so.
Yes.
All right, bro. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Does it come natural for you to talk to people about Jesus, or is it like kind of awkward and hard to get going?
People that I know, I feel like the conversation always ends up there. People that I don't really know, it takes me a while, but yeah, usually. Like, with people that I know, whenever we hit like an awkward pause in our conversation, like we'll just start talking about Jesus, even if they're not Christian. Which like, because they know me well enough and I know them well enough to where we'll be like, all right, let's go. Yeah. And then people I don't know, it'll take like maybe a little bit of digging in the conversation, but I like it happens all the time.
Yeah, I get that. And I remember like first trying to begin to talk to people about Jesus. You didn't know how to steer the conversation that way. At least I didn't. And so it was always just like, yeah, bam, you know, like lulling conversation with someone I just met. And I'm like, so let me tell you about Jesus, you know, lean in. Yeah,
for me, it's a lot easier now because it's like, so what do you do for work? So what do you do in your free time?
Yeah, exactly. You're
And
like,
then
it all revolves
it
around this
just,
church.
yeah, that's my life.
That's awesome, dude. Matt, thanks, bro.
Yep.
Did you get your car battery?
Not yet. I've just been walking around talking
My
to
man,
the
are you at the
camera.
Ventura Walmart?
Yes, I am.
It's in the far back right corner, dude. I've bought many a battery there.
All right. Thank you.
No
Appreciate
problem,
that.
dude. Great to see you, Matthew. Thanks for hopping on with us, man.
Good to see you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
dude. Adios. Goodbye, Matthew Lim. Let us see if we can go live with Gabby and see how Gabby's doing. Gabby is incredible. She's one of our leaders, and she is on quarantine.
Oh,
Gabriella, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Give us the best part of your week and the worst part of your week.
Best part definitely right now is VBS. It's been real fun. I'm actually enjoying it.
Good.
I'm enjoying it. And it's
Hey,
really
tell
fun.
us what Vacation Bible School is in case anybody maybe babysits little kids, or I don't want to say has little kids just because this is like a high school youth group, but maybe you have little siblings. Tell us what VBS is, Gabby.
So VBS right now, it's not like a normal VBS. We're doing a drive-through one. So you stay in your car the entire time and you drive through the parking lots, and there's different stations, and there's like story, a craft, a game, and snack, and it's all for free too. So if you want free food and you have kids from preschool to like fourth or fifth grade,
Fourth or fifth? What does that mean? Like,
I don't know the top age that I can. Yes.
I love it. Gabby, thanks for helping out with that.
Oh yeah, it's been fun.
Yep. Unless you're Parker and you get out to dance. Yeah, exactly, Rachel. Hey, I was helping out, Rachel. I just hopped in my own kid's car to be able to hang out with them for a second during my work day. I loved it, Rachel. And I'm a great dancer. Right, Gabby?
Whatever makes you smile.
Gabby, lying is like sin or something. Come on.
Tell the truth on that one.
Hey, Gabby, I'm going to ask you the same thing that I asked Matthew if you were watching a second ago.
Yeah.
Is it come natural for you, or is it more awkward or challenging to talk to people about Jesus? Hi, Grace.
Well, it's not natural for me. Okay. If they know me, then it's like, it obviously will come up because my best friends are all Christians. I am in a Christian bubble, really. And then I don't really have friends that aren't Christians. And it's a true fact.
So, like with a new person that you haven't talked to, is it challenging? Like, I'm assuming there's one or two times in your life you've talked to somebody about Jesus, or at least about what you do, right? You work for the church, and so naturally, I'm sure it opens that door.
Yeah. So, like when I meet up with like my old soccer friends,
Yeah.
like a pickup game that we'll do, they'll be like, "Oh, what do you do now?" I'm like, "Oh, I work for my church. I'm the student ministries intern." And then they'll come up, and then it just kind of stops.
Is it hard for you to say that though? Like, are you like, I got friends who are pastors, and they're like talking to somebody that's like really hostile about Jesus, and they'll be like, "What do you do for a living?" And they're like, I work nonprofit."
No, it's pretty, like, it's easy for me to say, and they just ask what I do, and I'm like, I do this, 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 and this, and then they're like, oh, that's cool. But it's like,
what do you do, Gabby?
A lot.
You're just the boss.
Yeah, I'm going to take over Amy's job soon.
Are
So,
we voting to kick Amy and she's not even on the live stream, Gabby? Is that what's happening right now?
what? No, I think.
One out of two.
Yeah, 2 out of 2.
Amy's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I know. Yeah, it's like, man, there are times. She says, promise? I love it. Yeah, I mean, hey, getting back to the point, there are times where it is like, I don't know if you've experienced this, where conversations, man, are so easy. Like, it's just like you can feel God just lead you towards that conversation, and it's so easy to have a conversation of depth and meaning about Jesus with someone. And then sometimes it is so challenging, right? Where you want to have the conversation, but it's like you can't find the in, and it just feels weird, right?
Yeah, Like in college, it was kind of easy, sort of. It just depends who I sat next to. And
Yeah,
then sometimes it would just like, I would just say, oh, I do this, or they'll be like, oh, you work for a church, and like, what church? I'm like, oh, this one. And they're like, oh, it's so cool. I've gone there. And I'm like, wow, I have never seen you in my life, but great.
that's
And
cool. So cool. Yeah, God always makes a way, right?
yeah,
I love
yeah,
it. Gabby, thanks for your willingness to talk to us about this and share a little bit about what your life's like. Thanks for filling us in on VBS too.
yes.
Hey, there's one more day for that, right? If people want to get involved
Oh,
or they know they have little kids or maybe neighbors or something, tomorrow's the last day.
tomorrow's the last day. You can
Let's
show.
go. And you'll be there, Gabby?
Of course, I'll be there.
And I'll be there, Gabby?
I don't know.
I'll be there,
Okay.
Gabby. Thanks again, Gabby. See you later.
Yes.
Bye, Gabby. All right, guys, if you got a Bible, open up to Mark chapter 16, verse 15. We are in the last chapter of the book of Mark. We've been reading along in the YouVersion app through the book of Mark, and today marks the day where we completed the book of Mark. So great job if you were hanging out and you have been reading along with us. It's been 16 days in this book, and I hope that you have had questions about the chapters you're reading, about the stuff you're reading. I hope you have wondered about this Jesus that this entire book is focused and centered around. I hope that you have maybe had some like good moments, some moments where you're like, I don't know what to do with this. This is challenging. This is difficult. Tonight, we are going to look at verse 15 in chapter 16 of Mark. So if you got a Bible anywhere near you, maybe you have your laptop open in front of you for some reason, do me a favor and just Google Mark chapter 16, Mark 16, 15. Pull up that verse. And if you have a Bible, like an actual Bible, these still exist, next to you, go ahead and open up to Mark chapter 16, verse 15. We're going to read just the one verse, so I'm going to read it a couple times. And tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down some of the words in the verse, what they meant in the original language, which was Greek. And then we are going to talk about what that means for us in our lives. And we're going to look at a story of someone who took this verse super literally and did something absolutely incredible and seriously inspiring. And then we're going to go into our Zoom groups. So give me a second because I dropped my notebook. I'm back. All right. So Mark chapter 16, verse 15. Hopefully you are all there. I have given you plenty of time. So what's happened so far is Jesus has lived just an incredible life. And he has come and he has more than proven that he is God. But he's also more than proven that he is man. He is perfectly God and perfectly man. And then in the previous two chapters, Jesus is arrested because people do not like Jesus. The religious leaders of his day don't like him at all. They arrest him and they put him on trial. And Jesus is found to be innocent by a man named Pontius Pilate. Then he is sentenced still, even though he's found to be innocent, he is sentenced to death in the worst possible way you could be killed back in ancient Rome. He is sentenced to death by crucifixion, which means to be hung on a cross until you die. He's beaten horribly before that, and then he is hung up on the cross. He dies, and then he resurrects. It's the most incredible comeback story the world has ever seen, and it's the resurrection of Jesus is what our entire faith is based around. Because if Jesus didn't come back, then he is not God. He just was a man that lived and had incredible things to say about how to live life. But because Jesus rose from the dead, it proves that he's God, because nobody comes back from the grave when you are completely and totally dead. He was dead 3 days. And then when he came back in Mark chapter 16, verse 15, he looked at his friends and he had some things to tell them before he ascended, meaning like rose back up to heaven. And this is one of the things he had to say. And I like it. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. It says this. He said to them, and we can read this as Jesus saying this to us too, go into all the world and preach the good news to all creation. Like I said, I'm going to read that again just because it's so short, and I'm just going to break this down. So maybe you don't have a Bible in front of you, and I kind of want some of these words rattling around in your head so you can get it. Jesus said to them, go into all the world and preach the good news to all creation. Go into all the world and preach the good news to all creation. So what does that mean What did that mean to the disciples? How did they hear that? And what on earth does that mean for you and I today? Let's get into this. So he says, go into all the world. That word all is this word in Greek named hapos. If you're not around someone and you're comfortable saying it, go ahead and say that word, hapos. Hapos in Greek literally means absolutely all. Every single, absolutely all, meaning leave nothing behind whatsoever. Go into every single corner of the world and do what? He says this, go into all the world. World was this word cosmos, and it's where we get our word cosmos, right? Cosmos. And it means all of the known world and all of the entire universe, every single galaxy. This is what Jesus is saying. I mean, Jesus is just blowing this way up and into this huge thing. He's saying go into every single place in all of the galaxy, in all of the cosmos, and preach the gospel. The gospel is the good news that the kingdom of God has come and that King Jesus now rules and reigns. This is the story. This is the good news that Jesus is saying. So he's saying, go into every single space in the world, in all of the universe, and preach, proclaim the good news of Jesus. That word preach means to publish something, to proclaim something that has happened. Like, go and let people know what happened about Jesus. Go and let every single corner of the universe know about the good news of what has happened because of Jesus. And then he says, go to all creation. This word creation is this word katesis, K-A-T-I-S-I-S in Greek. Katesis, and it literally means anything that was created. So Jesus is saying, go into every single corner of the cosmos and proclaim the good news of what I have done to every single thing that I created. That, like, this is what this directly translates to. Go into every single corner of the cosmos and let everything that I have created know about what I have done. Let them all know the good news is what Jesus is telling the disciples and what he is still telling us today. So this is huge, right? Like, we're talking major meta narrative, Jesus telling us something so big to do. So what does this look like? Where is someone in human history that we can look at and go, oh, wow, that's what that looks like practically in my life? How many of you guys know, throw up in the chat for me, there's a couple of us on here, throw up in the chat, what did Buzz Aldrin do for his career? I'm gonna tell you a story of a man named Buzz Aldrin who did something incredible. But how many of you know his name and you know what he did for his career? If you do, if you know his name, throw it up in the chat. I'm gonna move on in a sec. Paul Aldrin? What? So throw up if you know who Buzz Aldrin is and what he did for his career. He did some absolutely incredible things. Yes, Rachel is correct. Ding, 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 ding. Great work, Rachel. Buzz Aldrin was an astronaut. In the late 60s and early 70s, he was best friends with Woody. This is great. Yeah, actually, Gabby, that's pretty close, but Rachel got it correct. He was an astronaut in the late 60s and the early 70s, and he was one of the men. He did several different space missions, but he is most famously known for being one of two men on the Apollo 11 space mission, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong. The Apollo 11 mission was something that humans never had dreamed of. And then all of a sudden it was becoming a reality. The mission of the Apollo 11 space mission was to land on the moon and then get out from the spacecraft and actually walk on the surface of the moon. And in 1969, it happened. The Apollo 11 mission with Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong landed successfully on the moon in a portion of the moon called the Sea of Tranquility. And during that time, they land successfully. They become the very first two men to ever go onto the moon. And then they are given 1 hour of rest to do whatever they want before they actually open up the door, and step out onto the moon, which is where we get those famous lines from Mr. Armstrong that says, you remember, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Before we get those words, as they land on the moon, they're given 1 hour to relax because the space flight to get to the moon was so hard on the body that they were given 1 hour to do whatever they wanted. So each of them, Buzz and Neil, were each given the opportunity to bring with them a little tiny bag with some personal possessions. And so what Buzz Aldrin chose to do is he chose to put a few different things in his bag. And during his 1 hour time, he opened up his bag, he grabs it, and he opens it up. And out of it, he pulls this tiny little cup. And then he pulls out this small piece of bread. And then finally, he pulls out this small little bottle of wine. And he opens up this small little bottle of wine, and he opens this little wrapping around this piece of bread, and he pours this wine into this cup, and he says that because there's low gravity on the moon, it just stayed kind of hovering. It never really even touched into the cup. The wine didn't. And then he announced to the entire world, he broadcasted, because he was able to do that. They had broadcasting software. And so he broadcasted back to the entire world, asking all of the world that was listening in to take a minute of silent reflection, to be amazed at the work that God had done in these guys' life. And then this guy, Buzz, went on to take communion on the moon. And he pulled out this small piece of paper as he took the bread, symbolizing the body of Jesus, and as he drank the wine, symbolizing the blood of Jesus, he pulled out this small piece of paper with one of my favorite Bible verses on it, John chapter 15, verse 5. It says, this is Jesus speaking, it says, I am the vine, and you are the branches. If you abide in me, meaning make your home in me, if you stay close to me like a branch does to a vine, if you stay connected to me, you will bear much fruit. But apart from me, meaning if you get cut off, if you allow yourself to be cut off from the vine, just like how the branch, if you cut it off from a vine, it begins to wither up and die. He says, apart from me, if you don't stay connected to the vine, you will do nothing. And then on that moment, Buzz Aldrin decided to say, it's because I stayed connected to Jesus that I'm at this place right now. It's this incredible story. I love it. When all of humanity was looking at Buzz and going, wow, we are the greatest things ever. Humankind is incredible. This is amazing what's happening. Buzz Aldrin said, yeah, it is. And yet Jesus is the reason that I am here today. And I am going to make this moment where all of the world is looking at me, where I am one of two of the most important men in human history. Buzz and Neil, the first people to get up onto the moon and walk across the face of the moon. He says, as everyone's looking at me, I'm going to be like a mirror, and I'm going to reflect, not myself back to them, but I'm going to reflect Jesus back to the world by bringing him onto this place, by proclaiming the gospel, the good news of Jesus to the moon, literally to the moon, by saying Jesus is Lord, God has come. You have been set free from the curse and the brokenness in the world. He took the verse that we've been reading, Mark 16:15, to go into every single corner of the universe and let everything, all of creation, including the moon and trees and squirrels and the waves, and of course your friends and family, know about Jesus. Buzz took that seriously. And so when he was given the greatest moment of his life, he chose to hand that moment back to Jesus, to recognize that Jesus was the reason for the most incredible things that had ever happened in his entire life. See, all of us in our lifetime will be given moon landing type moments, moments where it feels like everything is on us and where all of the attention of the universe is on us. And in those moments, you will have one of two choices. You can either take that and hold it for yourself, or you can recognize, like Buzz did, that Jesus is the reason that you are there right now. And you can use your life as a mirror to reflect Jesus and to point people back to Jesus during those seasons and during those moments. So I hope that we can continue to figure out what that means for us. What does it mean? How do you become the type of person that can actually point people to Jesus? How do you have conversations about Jesus that don't end awkwardly? Or how do you become the type of person that can have a conversation about the work that Jesus did in your life? This is all the stuff that we're going to talk about in our Zoom groups right now. So guys, it's 7:30. Thank you for being with us. Hope that you have connected with Jesus and that you've connected with someone who had connected with Jesus, Mr. Buzz. And as you go throughout the rest of your week, you are wondering about how you can use your life to proclaim to all of creation who Jesus is. So go ahead and join us on the Zoom groups. We can't wait to see you guys. Grace and peace until next time, my friends. Bye.